Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are into week 2. All of you have received your grades on your first week's paper. If you have not, please email me. It could be that when I was grading, I was timed out in the system, and it could be that your grade is actually just sitting there waiting to be published. Many of you did a very solid job on the introductory. In fact, most of you did a solid job on describing the healthscape, describing the atrium and how it related to the healthscape. However, some of you are not going to be happy with your grade because you either missed whole sections or you did not apply the terminology and the information relative to the unit within your first submission. And when we look over the first week's lecture that I posted, my YouTube lecture and the lecture notes, I provided you directions on the assignments. And one of the things that I have stressed, and I will continue to stress, is that it is very important. In fact, it's incumbent upon you to outline your assignments using the prompts. So if you'll go ahead and take a look at where you're reviewing this video, look at your prompts for this week's assignment. You will see that the discussion rubric and guidelines for each assignment will have two components. They will have the component where it sets you up for how you're to approach the assignment. For example, is it a short paper? Is it a worksheet? And it has the directions for the assignment. Then the second component of the rubric is going to be your rubric. You cannot operate independently using either the rubric or the prompts. They must be read in conjunction with one another. The prompts will tell you the material that must be covered. The rubric will tell you what extent that you will be required, to which you must reach that particular level in order to get the full points of exemplary. And you're going to see a lot of times, you'll see support your answer, you'll see provide evidence, provide examples, provide an argument. And all of these are cueing you into what level you must reach. Another term you will see is keen insight in the rubrics. Well, what is quote unquote keen insight? It means nothing more than research and provide some quotes and some information from the unit that supports the document you are presenting. And that's the next thing I want to go into is what types of documents are we going to look at? And there are basically 4 types of documents we will look at. We will look at an exercise, a paper, a worksheet, a milestone, and a final project. The exercises will either be in terms of a workbook or worksheet and or a short paper. When you look at a workbook or worksheet, you are looking at a presentation that can be done, it should be done using the template in a short answer format to the questions posed. A short paper must comply with the APA standards for presentation. And I've given you a citation to the typical APA paper structure. Now, I would submit to you, we are a little different in this particular class and in many of your healthcare administration classes, in that each section should stand independently. In other words, you should have for each section a statement of what you are talking about. In other words, setting the context. So, for example, in the paper you just submitted, the prompt number 1 required you to tie in the atrium and how it was marketing for Mayo Clinic. Well, lo and behold, you can't presume that I understand or that your reader will understand what term you're expressing marketing in. You must express or use the terminology from this course. So many times you may present a memorandum or a document for action within an organization that may go to a board of directors. And not everyone on that board of directors is necessarily going to have a degree or a business degree or a healthcare administration degree. It's more likely in today's environment, but don't take that as a for sure granted proposition. When I worked in Winnemucca, Nevada, we had a small hospital, Humboldt General, and all of the directors on the board and the chief or not the chief, but the chairman of the board, were all elected officials. And I will tell you, 2/3 of them were complete doofuses. They had no idea about healthcare billing, healthcare finance. It was just a political job, and it was a feather in their hat to have been elected to the board. So when you look at the assignment, you're going to have to say, what is this? What am I reading? What do you want me to do? Well, I'm going to tell you in this video what I want you to do in every single assignment, and that is premise your paper or your workbook answers or your milestone on the prompts. And I want you to outline and answer each individual prompt separately. Don't run them together. Don't try to take shortcuts. Each one you must answer the full content and the questions presented. Many of you lost points because you didn't even tell me what marketing was. You used terms that were conflated with normal terminology, things we would state in normal conversation, like value. Okay, what's value? Well, value in marketing is a whole lot different than value in everyday expression or conversation. Again, customers are different in marketing than in everyday conversation. You've got a customer and you have a consumer. In marketing, we target our customers. That doesn't mean they are a consumer. And if you remember in week 1, I talked about that fundamental theorem of exchange. And in terms of a fundamental theorem of exchange, you've got to give them something of value for which they will convert from a customer to a consumer. You must make sure to use the terminology from the unit and not take for granted that words that you think you know or what they mean in a different context. You can't do that in this class. This is very specific. If you walk away from here thinking value is a dollar value of something or the intrinsic value of gold, which is $1,500 an ounce today, you're wrong. You're off. Because value in healthcare marketing is that extra little bit that you offer to create the environment where somebody wants to exchange money for services. And in the instance of the atrium and the healthscape, I think it'll become more evident when you look at it. What does that healthscape ultimately do when customers come into that environment? And your ultimate question in what you have to support in your argument in your paper is, what makes that healthscape convert customers to consumers? What value is offered? Okay? With that in mind, I am not a stickler on the page length. I'm not a stickler. I don't count words. If you want to use an abstract, I don't have an objection to you using an abstract. If you want to do it to be in the habit, but remember, an abstract and introduction are different. You must use a cover page, headers and footers headers with a running header on page 1, and the rest of the pages are a simple header. I've given you a APA template for your milestones. That template is something that you can easily convert to paper 1 should you accept my offer to rewrite, so we can get you off to a solid start in this class, and a start where you are writing at the level and providing the information that you must provide for this particular class. With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome any of you to call me at 801-940-2531 during normal business hours, or to shoot me an email if you want to meet at an unusual time or on the weekend, and I'll be more than happy to accommodate you with a time that we can get together. So you can either email me, p.vanash@Southern New Hampshire University or snhu.edu, or you can call me at 801-940-2531. I wish you all well on your rewrites, and I wish you all well on your future endeavors. But if you're not sure, please shoot me an email or use the general discussion forum. I'm more than happy to provide clarification. Have a good weekend.